This APA-style video tutorial is provided by the University of South Dakota Writing Center. We'll set up an academic paper in APA style, step by step, using Microsoft Word 2016 on Windows. For this tutorial, we'll be using an example paper provided by a Writing Center consultant. I have made some alterations to the paper for demonstrative purposes. Please note that if your instructor has preferences regarding APA style that differ from the directions provided in this video, follow your instructor's guidelines. If you are already familiar with APA style and are watching this video with a particular area of concern in mind, you can look to the timestamps provided on this screen and skip ahead to whatever section you need. Before diving into the details of APA style, it's important to first make sure your document's margins are correct. Under the Layout tab, select Margins and then choose the Normal option with 1-inch margins on each side. If you do not see this option, you can create custom margins and ensure that the top, bottom, left, and right margins are all set to 1 inch. The next step for formatting a paper in APA style is ensuring the entire document is set up to be in Times New Roman size 12 font. Under the Home tab, find the Font section and select the arrow in the bottom right corner. For font, select Times New Roman. Under Font Style, select Regular, and for size, select 12. Next, press Set as Default in the bottom left corner. If you select the first option, this document only, your entire document, including the header and footer, will be in the correct font. If you choose to select the second option, you will be changing your program's settings so that all new documents will automatically be ready in Times New Roman size 12 font. I like this feature since I write many papers in APA style, but you can choose to select the first option if you prefer the default settings. Next, select your entire document using the shortcut Ctrl-A. Alternatively, you can go to the Home tab, find the Editing section, click Select, and then choose Select All. Find the Paragraph section under the Home tab and select the option for line and paragraph spacing. Select 2.0 so that your document will be double-spaced, and make sure you don't have additional spaces before or after paragraphs. If you see an option to remove spaces before or after paragraphs, click that option. Now that we've worked through the basic settings for our document, we'll format the title page. The content is located about 1/3 of the way down the page, so press Enter until you reach an appropriate distance from the top. I am placing my content 5 lines down from the top of the page. Under the Home tab in the Paragraph section, choose Center Alignment. Now you can type your title on the first line, your name on the second line, and your institutional affiliation on the third line. Note that the title is in title case, meaning all important words and proper nouns are capitalized. Do not capitalize articles, conjunctions, and prepositions, unless those words are at the beginning of the title or follow a colon. In some cases, you might need to include an author note at the bottom of your title page. Type and center the words Author Note. The APA Style Handbook provides the following outline for author notes on pages 24 and 25. First paragraph, complete departmental affiliation. Second paragraph, changes of affiliation, if any. Third paragraph, acknowledgments, special circumstances. Fourth paragraph, person to contact, mailing address, email. Include whatever information is relevant for your paper. Each new paragraph in an author note starts with an indent. Students are usually not required to include an author note, so consult your instructor if you are unsure whether or not an author note is necessary. Before we move on from the title page, we'll set up a header. Under the Insert tab, select Page Number, Top of Page, and Plain Number 3, which is the option to place the page number in the upper right corner of your document. This will automatically shift your toolbar to a Header and Footer Tools Design tab. Select the option for Different First Page. Note that this option is only available if your cursor is located in the header. Next, place your cursor to the left of the page number and type Running Head : with the R capitalized but the H in lowercase. After the colon, in all capital letters, type the title of your paper. If the title is long, you can use an abbreviated title. Then, press Tab until your running head is aligned with the left margin. Unlike the title page, the other pages in your document will not include the words running head. On the second page, repeat the process we completed for the title page's header, but omit the words running head. All subsequent pages will automatically reflect this header with appropriate page numbers. Make sure all headers are in Times New Roman before continuing. After the title page is the abstract. Some instructors might not require an abstract, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we will include one. An abstract is a concise summary of your paper and should generally be between 150 and 250 words in length. To create a new page, go to the Insert tab and click Page Break. My document already includes a page break, so I'm going to undo this step. The label Abstract should be centered and placed at the top of the new page. The content of the abstract should be contained within one paragraph without any indentation. The next page in your document begins with the title and introduction of your paper. The title should be centered at the top of the page and should follow title case capitalization. Do not label the introduction. However, you might label other sections in your paper. Sections like Method, Results, and Discussion are first-level headings. For these headings, center and bold the label. First-level headings should also be in title case capitalization. Sometimes you might include additional headings to organize content within a single section. For instance, this paper includes a Measures section within the Method section. This would be a second-level heading, which follows the same guidelines as a first-level heading, except the label is left-aligned rather than centered. Consult the APA Style Guide for directions on third, fourth, and fifth-level headings if necessary. When citing literature in APA Style, include an in-text citation the first time you cite a source. Mention all authors' last names for the first citation, and include the date in parentheses directly after the author's names. If the citation has more than 2 authors, you can type et al., meaning and others, after the first author's name for subsequent citations. For example, this paragraph mentions 3 authors for a single citation, then only mentions the first author's name plus et al. For the second citation. To create a parenthetical citation, which involves citing the author or authors without including them in the narrative of your essay, place the author names and date in parentheses at the end of the sentence, and place the period outside the closing parenthesis mark. Even when you are paraphrasing the author's ideas and using your own words, you should still cite the original source. If you use a quotation from a source, meaning you include their exact words, place quotation marks around the author's words and include a page number in a parenthetical citation. If no page number exists, a paragraph number or heading will suffice. If you include a quotation that is 40 words or longer in length, highlight the quotation, expand the paragraph section under the Home tab, as we have done previously, and under Indentation Special, select Hanging. You will then need to indent the first line of the quotation. Because the entire quotation is now indented, you should not include quotation marks around the quotation. Also, the punctuation should be placed before the parenthetical citation in this instance. Again, make sure you cite the author, date, and page number. If you mention the author in the lead-in sentence, remove the author name and date from the parenthetical citation. Ending your last original sentence with a colon is a common way of introducing a block quotation. The last step is setting up your references page. Centered at the top of the page, write References. Then, place your references beneath the heading. Your entries should be alphabetized based on the name or word provided at the beginning of each citation. Next, we'll create a hanging indent for the references so that a single entry will wrap onto multiple lines. Select your references, and under the Home tab, expand the paragraph section using the arrow in the bottom right corner. Then, under Indentation and Special, select Hanging. Here's an example of a typical periodical reference entry. Authors' last names are listed first, and first names, and middle names if provided, are represented by initials. Next, the date is placed in parentheses. Note that the title of the article is in sentence case capitalization, not title case capitalization. This means you'll only capitalize the first word of the title, proper nouns, and the word following a colon if applicable. The next piece of information, the journal name, should be capitalized according to title case rules and is italicized. Next comes the volume number, which is also italicized. After the volume number, some citations will include an issue number in parentheses. The issue number is only necessary if the journal paginates by issue, meaning each issue within the same volume starts on page 1, instead of paginating by volume. For instance, if issue 4 of a journal volume starts on page 1, then you know the journal is paginated by issue, whereas if issue 4 starts on page 500, you know the journal is continuously paginated. You can find this information by visiting the website of a periodical and taking a quick glance at the table of contents for a volume. Then, identify whether or not each new issue starts on page 1. Periodicals are usually paginated by volume, so an issue number is usually not necessary. Again, if your instructor has alternative directions and requires an issue number, follow your instructor's guidelines. Next is the page range. Finally, your citation will include a DOI, or Digital Object Identifier. This is essentially the journal article's Social Security number. If a reader has access to that number, they can easily find the exact journal article online. For additional information about APA style, consult the Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association, 6th edition, the online APA style blog, which you can find at blog.apastyle.org, is another helpful and official resource. You can also consult the APA section of your grammar handbook or the APA section of the Purdue Online Writing Lab. The IDWeeks library has useful handouts and information at libguides.usd.edu/APA. And of course, you are welcome to schedule an appointment at the Writing Center to get one-on-one assistance from a writing consultant. We can help you with APA style, MLA style, Chicago style, and other styles as well. Additionally, the Writing Center can help you with other aspects of writing. All University of South Dakota students, faculty, and staff who are on campus can visit the Writing Center, located in the IDWeeks Library, room 133, on the west side of the Academic Commons. USD distance students can seek help in the Online Writing Center, which is accessible through D2L. More information is available at the Writing Center website. Good luck with your papers!